Chosen One, something magnificent is happening right now. Can you feel this energy? This is not a coincidence. You were guided here because the time of scarcity is over. Your days of worry, sleepless nights, accumulated bills, all of this is being erased by the divine power that is working in your life at this very moment. There is a flow of wealth coming your way, and nothing can stop it. The invisible barriers that held you back are crumbling. You have already faced challenges, encountered moments of uncertainty, but now everything is changing. God is opening doors that were previously closed. You are being prepared to receive more than you imagined. But take note, this transformation requires something from you. Only those who truly believe and open themselves to this new reality will be able to receive this blessing completely. Are you ready? Then write in the comments, "I receive." Prosperity has already begun to move in your direction. What once seemed impossible now becomes inevitable. Signs are already appearing around you, small changes, unexpected opportunities, a new clarity about your financial path. This isn't luck. This is a calling. You were chosen to live a new reality, and this reality no longer includes financial suffering. Every word you hear now carries a transformative energy. The doubt, the fear, the feeling that wealth wasn't for you, all of this is being removed at this moment. You weren't born for scarcity. You were born for abundance. This is the moment to accept this truth and open your heart to receive. You need to be ready because in the next words, we will reveal the path to this definitive change. Prepare yourself, because your journey to abundance begins now. Chosen One, listen carefully. You were chosen to receive this message because your time of transformation has arrived. Something inside you has always known that your financial life wasn't meant to be a constant battle. You've felt that you were born for something greater, that there is a powerful purpose waiting to manifest, and now that moment has finally come. There is an energy of abundance, ready to fill every area of your life. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter how many doors have closed. Today, a new door opens, and it leads directly to the prosperity that has always been your birthright. Do you feel it? This change has already begun. Small signs, intuitions, coincidences, all of this is the universe confirming that you are on the right path. But there is something you need to do. Accept this calling. Say yes to this new reality and leave behind any belief that keeps you tied to scarcity. Feel this truth echoing within you. Scarcity was never your destiny. Every difficult moment, every tear shed, every financial worry that weighed on your shoulders, all of this was preparing you for something greater. It wasn't a punishment, it was training. The pressure you felt wasn't to destroy you, but to strengthen you. Because now, the time of your harvest has come. Abundance is not something distant, a privilege for the few. It is here now. The only thing separating you from the wealth you desire is your ability to accept it. But how do you accept something that for so long seemed inaccessible? How do you change a reality that always made you believe prosperity wasn't for you? Begin by understanding a profound truth. You were created to prosper. God didn't make you to live in constraint, in limitation, in desperation. The abundant life has always been available, but fear and wrong beliefs block this flow. The fear of not being worthy, the fear of failing, the fear that if you have too much, something bad might happen. But now, these blockages are being torn away. The invisible chains that bound your mind to scarcity are breaking, because today, you are receiving the key to open doors that previously seemed locked. This key is your belief, your faith, your decision to say, "I accept this wealth in my life. I am ready to prosper." Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Imagine a life where money is never again a problem, where you can help your family, fulfill your dreams, live without fear of tomorrow. Feel this reality as if it were already yours. Because it already is. From now on, everything begins to align so that this vision becomes real. But the change begins within you. Your mind needs to be ready. Your heart needs to be open. Doubt needs to be replaced by certainty. Because what God has prepared for you cannot be denied, cannot be prevented. Chosen one, listen carefully. The time of struggle has come to an end. You've carried heavy burdens, faced moments of despair, spent sleepless nights wondering when things would get better. But that phase is over. Something powerful is happening now. A greater force is removing obstacles from your path, dissolving barriers that once seemed insurmountable. For a long time, you believed you needed to fight, suffer, push yourself beyond your limits to achieve something. But today, you need to understand that abundance isn't just the fruit of physical effort. It is the result of spiritual and mental alignment. You are not alone on this journey. There is a greater power working in your favor, preparing paths you can't even imagine. Every debt that haunts you, every bill that pressures you, every fear of not being able to meet your responsibilities, all of this is losing power. Because from now on, your financial life enters a new cycle, a cycle where you no longer struggle to survive, but begin to truly prosper. Your story will no longer be marked by difficulties. What once seemed difficult now becomes easy. What once took years to happen will now come quickly. Because when you understand that abundance is already yours by right, everything transforms. Feel this truth within you. Visualize your life free from these worries. Imagine yourself waking up every day with peace in your heart, knowing that everything is flowing in your favor. This isn't an illusion. It's the new reality being activated in your life now. There is an invisible, powerful, and constant flow around you. A vibrant energy, full of possibilities, always ready to manifest in your life. This energy is the source of divine abundance, and now it is moving toward you in a way you have never experienced before. Everything in the universe is energy, including money. It isn't just numbers in a bank account or pieces of paper. Money is a manifestation of a flow of prosperity that already exists and has always existed. But for it to reach you without resistance, you need to be aligned with this truth. For a long time, your mind may have been programmed to believe that wealth was something difficult to achieve, that only some people had luck or privileges, that money only came with extreme sacrifices. But now that programming is being rewritten, the energy of wealth is already present in your life. You need to feel it, accept it, and allow it to manifest. Resistance to money comes from fear, guilt, the belief that being prosperous is wrong or unattainable. But God didn't create you to live trapped by these limitations. The Creator desires that you live in fullness, that you have enough for yourself and to bless others. And that's why, at this moment, you begin to realize that something has changed. You no longer see money as an enemy or a challenge. You understand that it is an ally, a tool, a divine blessing that is available to you. This energy is already around you, waiting only for you to accept it completely. Imagine a rushing river, flowing without obstacles, bringing life and abundance wherever it passes. This river represents the divine energy of wealth, always available, always flowing. But now think, what happens when a dam is built in this river? The flow is interrupted, water accumulates on one side, and on the other everything becomes dry. This is exactly what happens when the mind is blocked to abundance. The flow of prosperity is always there, ready to reach you. But if wrong beliefs are built as barriers, it can never flow freely. What is being done at this moment is the removal of these barriers. Every thought of scarcity, every fear of not having enough, every doubt about your ability to prosper, all of this is being dissolved. The river is flowing again. The flow of wealth is being restored in your life. And now, you begin to feel this change from the inside out. Your financial decisions become wiser. Your intuition strengthens. Opportunities begin to emerge in unexpected ways. The right people enter your path. Because when you align your mind with the energy of abundance, you become a magnet for prosperity. Money doesn't come just through physical effort. It comes from the right mindset, the right energy, alignment with the divine flow. You don't need to chase after wealth. It will come to you because now you are ready to receive it. The river of prosperity is flowing again, and this time nothing will be able to stop it. For a long time, you may have felt that something invisible was preventing you from advancing financially. You made efforts, worked hard, tried different paths, but it seemed that a barrier always appeared at the last moment. Money came in and out of your hands without explanation. Opportunities knocked on the door but escaped before you could grasp them. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't coincidence. They were invisible chains binding your prosperity. Inherited beliefs, unconscious fears, repetitive patterns that strengthened throughout your life and created walls between you and the abundance that was already your right. But now, these chains are breaking. The first step to financial liberation is awareness. You need to recognize everything you were taught to believe about money that in truth never helped you. How many times have you heard that money is dirty, that those who get rich lose their humility, that life is made of sacrifices and not of ease? These words, repeatedly spoken, have shaped your reality, closing doors without you realizing it. But the truth is that God never wanted you to live limited. Scarcity is not a sign of humility or virtue. The Creator desires that you have enough to live in peace, to care for your family, to help those in need. Poverty is not a destiny, it is an illusion, sustained by centuries of wrong thoughts. And now this illusion is fading. You are seeing the truth. You are feeling the weight of these chains dissolving. For the first time, you understand that you don't need to fight against money. On the contrary, it is a blessing, a gift, a powerful energy that can transform lives. The liberation process has begun, but there is more to be revealed. Now that you recognize the chains that bound you, it's time to break them once and for all. And for this, you need to do something very powerful. Replace old beliefs with new truths. From today on, you will no longer see money as something difficult to conquer. You will no longer believe that prosperity is only for a chosen few. You will no longer carry the fear of losing what you have or the guilt for wanting a better life. Instead, you will understand that wealth is a reflection of your connection with divine abundance. Think about how truly prosperous people view money. They don't fear it. They don't see it as a problem. They understand that it is a tool, and that the more they have, the more they can create, help, and expand. This is the mindset you need to develop. Feel this change within you. Fear is disappearing. Insecurity is being erased. A new programming is installing in your mind. You now understand that money is not an obstacle, but an ally. And from this moment, you will begin to see changes. Small signs that the energy of abundance is moving in your favor. New ideas will emerge, unexpected opportunities will appear, solutions that once seemed impossible will begin to manifest. Because now you are free. No limiting belief can hold you back. No fear can paralyze you. No chain can bind you. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. The wealth that has always been yours is finally coming to meet you. Chosen one, the heavens are moving in your favor. Can you feel it? A divine force is opening invisible paths, removing barriers, and bringing into existence everything that has already been destined for you. The wealth that was held in the spiritual world now begins to materialize in your life. The signs are already everywhere. God never acts in silence. He sends confirmations, small glimpses of miracles, evidence that His promise is being fulfilled. Perhaps you've noticed a change within you, a weight that has been lifted, a peace that fills your heart, an inexplicable feeling that something great is about to happen. This is not coincidence. This is God preparing your soul to receive what He has already decreed for you. The divine flow of abundance manifests in details that many ignore. An unexpected amount that comes into your hands, a door that opens effortlessly, the right person who appears at the exact moment, words that come to you as direct confirmations from heaven. God's universe is perfect, and when He desires to bless you, everything aligns so that nothing prevents this manifestation, but you need to be awake. Miracles start small before becoming giants. The celestial gold is already being poured upon you, but it is your faith that accelerates this harvest. Open your spiritual eyes and see. Wealth isn't coming. It's already here. The heavens are witnessing your transformation. What once seemed distant now approaches rapidly because God's word never returns void. He has already decreed your prosperity, and the signs of this are multiplying around you. You can feel this change in the atmosphere. There is a certainty within you that cannot be explained, only felt. Your mind expands, your vision clears, and your spirit begins to understand that the time of scarcity is over. This awakening is one of the first signs that wealth is manifesting. Observe the details of your life. Doors that were previously closed begin to open without effort. Opportunities emerge where before there were only obstacles. People are sent to you with answers, connections, paths that accelerate your journey toward abundance. Every detail is being carefully aligned by the divine hand. And then those moments begin to happen that the world calls coincidence, but that you know are God's touches. That unexpected money, that brilliant idea that comes from nowhere, that chance that seemed impossible. All of these are signs of the manifestation of the promise over your life. Now, there are no more doubts. You know you're living a time of harvest. The signs are not just distant promises, they are confirmations of what is already being poured upon you. And soon, everything you believed will begin to materialize in such a powerful way that even those around you will see God's work in your life. Chosen one, the promise has already been released. The signs are multiplying, and God has already decreed your prosperity. But there is a divine principle you need to understand. Faith without action generates no transformation. Abundance is coming, but you need to be ready to receive it. Imagine that God has placed before you a fertile land, ready to produce fruits in abundance. But if the seed isn't planted, if the harvest isn't made, the land will remain rich, but empty. So too is your financial life. God has already released the gold, the provision, the resources. But you need to take the necessary steps to take possession of what is yours. This means your mentality needs to be aligned with your new reality. You can no longer act as someone who fears scarcity. You need to begin thinking and acting as someone who is already prosperous. What would a rich man do? How would he manage his finances? What decisions would he make? You need to embody this mindset now, because it is this that will attract the manifestation of wealth. But it's not just about thinking differently, it's about acting. The right doors have already been opened, but you need to walk through them. Opportunities will arise, but you need to seize them. New ideas may be blown into your heart right now, but you need to put them into practice. It's not enough just to wait. You need to move, because when you take a step toward prosperity, God takes 1,000 steps toward you. Be bold, be determined, make plans, take action, bring your projects to life. Act as if wealth is already flowing to you, because it already is. God doesn't just deliver blessings. He empowers those who place themselves in the path of blessing. And at this moment you need to ask yourself, what can I do today that brings me closer to this new reality? What is the next step that God wants me to take? Because the time of abundance isn't in the future. It has already begun. Heaven has already released the decree. Prosperity is already on its way. But there is a spiritual principle you need to understand. God always honors faith, but He also expects action. If you desire to reap a great harvest, you must first plant the seed. Remember the story of Peter, who spent the entire night fishing without success. He was tired, frustrated, believing there was nothing more to do. But then Jesus said, "Cast your nets again." And Peter, even without seeing immediate evidence, obeyed. The moment he cast the net, the miracle happened. Fish in abundance beyond what he could carry. Now, look at your life. How many times have you felt that you tried everything and nothing happened? How many times have you thought about giving up because the results didn't come when you wanted? But God is saying, cast your net once more. This means you need to act. If one door closed, another will open, but you need to knock. If one path didn't work, there is another prepared for you, but you need to walk. The sea of abundance is already ready to open, but God expects you to raise your staff and take the first step, just as Moses did before the Red Sea. The money you desire, the financial stability you seek, the prosperous life you dream of, everything has already been prepared for you. But God cannot multiply something that is standing still. He multiplied the loaves and fishes because someone gave what they had. He turned water into wine because the servants obeyed and filled the jars. He healed the blind man because he had faith and walked to the pool to wash. Abundance doesn't come to those who merely wait. It comes to those who act with faith. Are you ready to act? Are you ready to assume your role in your own prosperity? Start now. Make room for the new. Organize your finances. Invest in your growth. Develop your gifts. If there is something God has placed in your heart, don't ignore it. If there is a talent you've let sleep, awaken it. If there is a dream you shelved out of fear, believe again. And remember, your action doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be sincere. Take the first step, and God will guide the next ones. What He has prepared for you is greater than you can imagine. Wealth isn't coming. It's already here, waiting for you to claim it with faith and action. Chosen one, the moment has arrived. The door is open before you, and everything that was an obstacle has been removed. God has decreed the end of scarcity and the beginning of a new era of abundance in your life. But there is something you need to understand. This door will not open by itself. It is already open, but only those who have faith and courage dare to cross it. For a long time, you lived trapped in a cycle of limitations, insecurities, and fears. You questioned if you were really deserving of prosperity, if wealth was for you. But now, that doubt can no longer exist. You were called to something greater. You were chosen to be a living testimony of God's power over finances. Look around you. Do you notice how everything is aligning? Opportunities that once seemed distant now begin to reveal themselves. The right connections begin to emerge. Necessary resources begin to flow. Everything is being placed in your path because God prepared this moment for you. But there is a spiritual principle you need to remember. God doesn't force anyone to enter into abundance. He only shows the way. The final choice is yours. You can stand still before the door, full of fear and doubts, or you can cross it with faith, knowing that on the other side exists a future of fullness and fulfillment. Now ask yourself, am I ready to live this transformation? Am I ready to completely abandon the past and surrender to the new that God has for me? If your answer is yes, then continue. Chosen one, feel the truth of this moment. You are no longer the same person who began this journey. Something within you has changed. Your mind has expanded, your spirit has strengthened, and now there is no going back. You have crossed an invisible portal and entered a new time, the time of abundance, manifestation, and harvest. This door that God has opened is not temporary, not transient. It is a call to a new lifestyle where you will never again need to live in financial uncertainty, in anxiety about tomorrow, in fear of lack. But there is something fundamental you need to understand. Abundance is not an event, it is a state of being. This means you need to carry this truth within you every day. It's not enough to just believe in prosperity today and doubt it tomorrow. It's not enough to trust when everything is fine and fear when challenges appear. God wants your faith to be unshakable, because true wealth begins inside you before manifesting in the physical world. Be faithful to the abundance that is already around you. Honor every blessing, no matter how small it seems. When you are grateful for what you have, God entrusts you with even more. Don't complain about what hasn't arrived yet. Celebrate what has already begun. Because prosperity grows where there is gratitude and wisdom. And remember, God doesn't deliver riches just to accumulate, but to transform. The prosperity He places in your hands has a greater purpose. It isn't just for you to live in comfort, but for you to be a light in the lives of other people. You are a channel of divine abundance, and the more you share, the more you receive. From now on, your mind will no longer be limited. Your decisions will no longer be guided by fear. Your heart will no longer be imprisoned by doubt. You have entered the new era of your life, and everything that once seemed impossible will now become inevitable. Believe, this is just the first harvest. What is to come will be even greater. The door is open. Walk without fear, because God has already decreed your victory. Chosen one, your journey to this point was not by chance. Every word you heard, every truth that was revealed, every sensation that touched your heart, all of this was a divine call to awaken the abundance that has always been within you. The time of scarcity is over. Fear no longer has power over your mind. Now, you walk toward a new reality, where prosperity flows freely, where doors not only open, but remain open. Remember, abundance is not something you wait for, it is something you assume. It's not a gift for the future, it's a promise that is already being fulfilled in the present. Keep your faith firm, your mind aligned, your action constant, because what God has prepared for you goes far beyond what you can imagine. And never forget, you were chosen to live this transformation. You were chosen to prosper, and from now on, nothing can prevent what is already yours by right. Chosen one, feel the depth of this moment. Something inside you has changed. You are no longer the same person who began this journey. Your mind has been renewed, your faith has been strengthened, and your vision of life will never be the same. Scarcity no longer has dominion over you. That sensation of limitation, of fear, of incapacity, all of this has been uprooted. Now you walk with confidence because you know you were chosen for something greater. God didn't bring you this far to turn back. What was initiated in this journey will continue growing, because the seed of abundance has been planted in your heart, and it can never be uprooted. The life that once seemed a cycle of difficulties now becomes a fertile field for miracles. Your mind now operates at a higher level, where doors open without effort, where opportunities appear at the right time, where money flows with ease, because you understand that wealth is not something conquered through struggle, it is something received through alignment, and that alignment has already happened. Every decision you make from today will be guided by this new consciousness. You will never again think like someone limited, because now you know you were born to prosper. You will never again allow fear to paralyze you, because you understand that everything you need has already been placed within you. You will never again accept living less than what God planned for your life. But remember, prosperity is not just a destination, it is a path. You need to continue walking, continue acting, continue declaring, continue moving toward the glorious future that is already prepared for you. Because God honors those who don't give up. He multiplies for those who trust. He exalts those who remain firm, even when they don't yet see everything with physical eyes. And know that this journey doesn't end here. This is just the beginning of something much greater. The abundance that has begun to manifest now will be like a river, growing, expanding, flowing without limits. You will not only live this transformation, you will be a living testimony of what God can do. So go without fear, advance without hesitation, take possession of this promise. The door of abundance has been opened, and nothing will be able to close it. Your time has come, your harvest has begun. Your story will never be the same. Blessed be your path. Wealth is already yours.